Even though I say it myself, my garden is in pretty good shape. Everything is healthy and it generates plenty of food for my table. But it could have been a different story. When I first moved here more than 16 years ago, I had my soil tested. And what those results revealed was that my soil was typically Australian. That is, heavily weathered and chronically deficient in phosphorus. Phosphorus deficiency significantly affects crop growth. I was lucky enough to discover the problem and rectify it before I started my garden, because it's not a problem that can be fixed by composting or other means. Once the tests came back, I added super-phosphate to all of my garden at a rate of 2 handfuls per square metre. This allowed me to raise the phosphate levels in my soil to a baseline, and that is essential for healthy plant growth. Now, once that's in there, to maintain the baseline, you recycle the phosphorus by making compost or adding manures. And since then, it's now possible to buy organic phosphate. This is based on guano, and you can apply it at a similar rate to soils. Phosphorus is important for all basic life functions. 2 which plants need it for are really important. Firstly, to build strong cell walls, and that helps them resist gravity. And secondly, for strong root growth, and that helps them to resist storms. But the way we use it tends to follow a linear pattern of consumption. We add it to the soil, eat it in our food, and it's lost either in stormwater or as sewage. It's also lost through manures. When an animal eats plants containing phosphorus and then has a poo, and that manure is removed from the site, the phosphorus goes with it. The reverse is, when we add manures to our gardens, we can top up the baseline levels of phosphorus in our soils, and that keeps plants in our gardens healthy. Now, horse manure does contain some phosphorus, but essentially it's a soil conditioner. Poultry manure, on the other hand, is rich in phosphorus, and I use this to feed the bananas I grow, which are the hungriest plants in my garden. And each stem gets 2 handfuls of poultry manure every month. They'll soak up as much phosphorus as I can give them. And over here, I use blood and bone for my kale and other brassicas. The blood in the blood and bone contains nitrogen, so the leaves become luscious. It's the bone bit which is important in blood and bone, because that is where animals concentrate their phosphorus. Everything needs phosphorus. Every couple of months, I add a couple of handfuls of blood and bone to my compost heap, and it assists with the breakdown processes. Now, when this compost is mature and ready to go back, the phosphorus that's in the green waste and the added phosphorus, well, that gets cycled back into the garden. Be warned, though. Too much phosphorus in your soil can cause problems with groundwater runoff, polluting waterways and causing algal bloom. My nature strip is at the lowest point of my property, and in it I've planted 2 Banksias, Banksia emula and Banksia integrifolia. They're members of the Proteaceae family, and the idea of planting them is that these are the canaries in my coal mine. If I'm not managing the phosphorus in my garden soil properly, subsurface water can move the phosphorus down into the nature strip, and if that happens, these will die. So far, they're looking good. In summary, phosphorus is essential for all life. It's a finite resource, so if we use it wisely and recycle it in our gardens where possible, then our future will be healthy, and so will our plants.